What's up, fight fans? This is Counterpunch with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some more news concerning Steven Espinosa. Steven Espinosa states that he will believe Bob Arum about Wilder Fury when he acts on it. Okay. It states that Steven Espinosa wants to believe Bob Arum. He really does. Until Arum acts upon what he has discussed regarding a Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury rematch, though Espinosa expects that Fury will fight someone other than Wilder next if Fury defeats Tom Schwartz on June 15th in Las Vegas. Espinosa expected a second Wilder Fury fight to take place May 18th at the Barclays Center, of course. Well, basically what was saying that, okay, he goes on to say this. Theoretically, it's possible, said Espinosa. The question is one of intent, because I've heard Arum say that there are other fights he's interested in, Crawford Spence or Lomachenko Garcia, and he's done nothing to advance those. Not a single phone call, not a single attempt to make those fights other than talking about them publicly. So really, it's not difficult. And I do believe Arum wants it. If he says it, until he proves it differently, then I will believe it. But what would be much more convincing than him saying it is him actually acting on it to take steps to make any of those fights happen, whether it's Fury rematch or any of those other big fights. So, basically what Steven Espinosa is saying is he doesn't believe what the hell Bob Arum is saying until he does it. That makes sense, and Steven Espinosa, well, first off, you're looking at what he didn't make for other fighters. You know what I'm saying? Like, me counterpunching this and listening to what he said, like the Crawford Spence or Lomachenko Garcia, because those are the other big fights that, of course, that we all want to see as fight fans. Well, my question is to Steven Espinosa, how does he know that Bob Arum hasn't reached out? You know what I'm saying? Maybe looking at Garcia, because Garcia has said that same thing. But Crawford Spence, maybe if Spence have said something. So unless they've told him that personally, how else is he going to know that? Not assuming that they didn't, but then you can't assume that they did also, because he never said that Garcia and Spence told me about those upcoming fights between Crawford and Crawford fighting Spence, and a possibility of Lomachenko fighting Mikey Garcia, So, but he's talking like he's his right-hand man to something. He's a network producer, right? For Showtime. So how does he supposed to know what Bob Arum has done or the acts that he's made? The only thing I think that he should go, unless they've told him, that could be a possibility. But if that didn't happen, how does he supposed to know? You could just say, because he said not a single phone call, not a single attempt to make those fights other than talking about them publicly. Like, okay. Now him with Crawford, him with Lomachenko, it is up to him to reach out for the two fighters. So, Spence and Garcia fight on Showtime. So, unless they told him that. Now, that could be the case. So, I'm not for or against what's going on here, because it is easy to say what you want. You know what I mean? And Bob Arum has done a lot of talking. Bob Arum has just spoken recently. I just dropped a couple videos on, the Terrence Crawford trying to make the Errol Spence fight and this, that, and the other. But, according to this, Bob Arum hasn't even reached out to Al Heyman or anyone on that side, according to this. But I mean, it doesn't specifically say that someone has told him that. So how does he know again? But I can tell you this: between Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn, at least Eddie Hearn has actually sent contracts, as you know, regarding one fight, you know, and that's the Joshua Wilder fight. So on that one instance, I believe Eddie Hearn to want to make that particular fight. Now, I can't say that about the other fights. I can't say that about the Farmer Javante Tank Davis. He said he would. You know what I mean? So until he does, you know, that's a whole nother story. So I'm with Espinosa on that because, like, hey, the proof's in the pudding. You know, you say you want this fight with us because we have Wilder. Wilder stayed with us. And you claim that Tyson Fury wants that fight. Well, you have to reach out to us so we can sit down and make a deal. You know what I'm saying? So I get Steven Espinosa for that, you know. But the thing is, on the upcoming fight, the rematch, people are interested in a rematch. But honestly, I think more people are wanting Deontay Wilder to fight Anthony Joshua than Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder once again. Because once these guys fought, that was what I was hearing. That was the buzz flying around. Okay, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has seen what it's been like to be in the ring with Tyson Fury. Okay, we're pretty much gonna see the same kind of fight until Deontay catches him. You know what I mean? That's all. That's a typical Deontay fight. You know, you might be beating him until he catches you. Then that's it. More than likely, lights over, or you're in trouble, right? So, you know, people wanted to see what Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder would do versus this. So, but I understand that Steven Espinosa's pony in the show with Wilder, and he's trying to make the best fights happen without Joshua because that's the other best fight that can happen. In fact, bigger than this one, as I just stated. So, them doubting Bob Arum, you know, I think they should be questioning them themselves, besides not being one-sided on trying to make a fight with Fury. You know, obviously you avoided that fight because I'm looking at everything. You avoid the fight with Joshua to take or to claim that Bob Arum doesn't want to fight with Fury. So, you know, until 2020. Well, if it happens, he says it's going to happen, they'll believe it. But really, they're telling you he does not believe Bob Arum, right? That's all he's saying. I think Bob Arum is a liar. That should be the title of this post. You know what I mean? But the grand scale of how fighting is going, they should have really took time to look at other options. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm with Steven Espinosa with that because, you know, Bob Arum does talk a lot. His stable's limited, you know, and we don't really see a lot done. Now, I will say this. He did get Amir Khan. So we can't say he didn't do anything for his fighters because if that was the case, there would be no Amir Khan fight. Crawford would more than likely be fighting someone from the PBC, which is Luis Calazzo, you know, out of Brooklyn. So, you know, I mean, you got to give Bob that in that regard. So, I don't know. I just think, you know, Steven Espinosa is doubting Bob Arum, but he has reason to, you know, but we will see what develops. We'll see if Bob Arum actually makes something happen. So you guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.